Okay, so welcome you all. We'll start this session now. Okay, so regulation of glycogen metabolism. We had finished with the cycle of glycogenesis and glycogenolysis last week. So regulation of glycogen metabolism. See, since both these pathways, glycogenesis and glycogenolysis, they both are reciprocal pathways. One, glycogenesis leads to synthesis of glycogen and glycogenolysis leads to breakdown of glycogen. So since both the pathways are reciprocal, so both the pathways are reciprocally and tightly regulated. Now what happens in liver? Liver में glycogenesis कब increase होगा, glycogenolysis कब decrease होगा? See, in well-fed state, when there is high concentration of well-fed state means after a meal, when there is high concentration of glucose in blood, at that time जो भी extra glucose होगा, the extra glucose gets converted into glycogen and stored. Hence glycogenesis increases and glycogenolysis will decrease. Already blood में glucose की concentration ज़्यादा है well-fed state में, so glycogenolysis will decrease, and since the glucose is surplus, so the extra glucose will get converted into glycogen, called as glycogenesis. So well-fed state में glycogenesis will increase and glycogenolysis will decrease. Now what about fasting? In fasting state, when there is low blood glucose concentration, blood glucose की concentration कम है, at that time glycogenolysis will increase so that glycogen can break down into glucose in liver, and then from liver it enters the blood, hence maintaining the blood glucose level. So in fasting state, glycogenolysis will increase, breaking down of glycogen to glucose. Glucose formed in liver enters the blood to maintain the blood glucose level. Thus glycogenesis decreases. Fasting state में glycogenolysis increase होगा, glycogenesis will decrease. In fed state, glycogenesis will increase and glycogenolysis will decrease. Now this was the case in liver. Now what about muscle? In skeletal muscle, during rest when there is less energy requirement hoga, at that time glycogenesis will increase and glycogenolysis will decrease. During exercising muscle, when there is active exercise ho raha hai muscle mein, at that time glycogenesis will decrease and glycogenolysis will increase. Why it will increase glycogenolysis? Because glycogenolysis mein in muscle mein glycogen will break down into glucose 6-phosphate. Glycogen breaks down to glucose 6-phosphate. This glucose 6-phosphate is then diverted to glycolytic pathway, which forms pyruvate along with generation of energy in form of ATP. This energy is then utilized via exercise. This energy is utilized by exercise. I'm repeating, in skeletal muscle, rest ke samay, glycogenesis will increase and glycogenolysis will decrease, because here there is very less energy requirement rest ke samay. Thus, glycogenesis increase hoga, glycogenolysis decrease hoga. Active exercise mein, since there is requirement of energy by muscle, that's why glycogenesis will decrease and glycogenolysis will increase, so that glycogen can break down into glucose 6-phosphate, which will enter the glycolytic pathway to form pyruvate and ATP, and this ATP, that is the energy, it is utilized by the exercising muscle. So overall we can say that in conditions with glucose and energy higher levels of glucose and energy levels jab honge, तब glycogenesis होगा, and then glucose and energy levels जब low होंगे तब glycogenolysis होगा. I'm repeating, glycogenesis will increase when glucose and energy levels are high. At that time, glycogenesis will increase, and glycogenolysis will increase when the glucose and energy levels are low. Now we'll address the regulation. Now, principal controlling enzymes of glycogen metabolism are glycogen synthase, glycogenesis, glycogen phosphorylase. This is the regulatory enzyme of glycogenolysis. Both these enzymes, they are regulated at 2 levels. 2 levels mein inka regulation hota hai. First one is hormonal regulation. Hormonal regulation is covalent modification by reversible phosphorylation and dephosphorylation. So reversible phosphorylation and dephosphorylation se hota hai hormonal regulation. Hormonal regulation takes place by reversible phosphorylation and dephosphorylation, and second regulation is by effector molecules. Allosteric regulation by effector molecules. Hormonal regulation hota hai to fulfill the needs of the body as a whole. Allosteric regulation hota hai to meet the need of the particular tissue. hormonal regulation is required to meet the needs of a body as a whole. पूरी body की requirement को fulfill करने के लिए hormonal regulation is required. Allosteric regulation to meet the needs of a particular tissue. किसी particular tissue that is liver or muscle. जिस भी tissue में ये operate हो रही हैं cycles that is glycogenesis and glycogenolysis और mainly क्योंकि they both operate in liver and muscle. That's why we can say that in liver and muscle की requirement को fulfill करने के लिए allosteric regulation is required. Hormonal regulation required for to fulfill the needs of the body as a whole. Allosteric regulation is required for to meet the needs of the particular tissue. जिस भी particular tissue में glycogenesis या glycogenolysis operate हो रहा है. So these both are the regulations, type of regulations. Regulatory enzymes are of glycogenesis is glycogen synthase, glycogenolysis is glycogen phosphorylase. Now in liver, what happens in response to low blood glucose? First, we are addressing hormonal regulation. In response to low blood glucose, जब low blood glucose होगा, the hormones जो secrete होंगे, those are epinephrine, norepinephrine, and glucagon. These hormones will be secreted in response to low blood glucose concentration. Once these hormones are secreted, they will initiate a signal. Signal initiate करेंगे, which will cause a cascade of reactions. These hormones will signal a cascade of reactions, that is a sequence of reactions को initiate करेंगे, which will ultimately lead to activation of glycogen phosphorylase, which is a regulatory enzyme of glycogenolysis. And once this enzyme glycogen phosphorylase is regulated, it's activated, then glycogenolysis is increased. And when glycogenolysis is increased in liver, at that time what happens? Glycogen is broken down to glucose in liver, and this glucose it comes out in the blood to maintain the blood glucose level. तो hormones secrete किसके response में हुए थे? Low blood glucose के response में secrete हुए थे hormones epinephrine, norepinephrine and glucagon. जैसे ही hormones secrete होंगे, एक signal को initiate करेंगे. Signal initiate करके क्या करेंगे? Sequence of reactions को cause करेंगे. In sequence of reactions की वजह से ultimately क्या होगा? Glycogen phosphorylase will be activated, which will enhance glycogenolysis. जब glycogenolysis enhance हो जाएगा, glycogen glucose में breakdown हो जाएगा. ये liver के अंदर होता है. Glucose liver में से blood में आ जाएगा, and ultimately this maintains the blood glucose level. So this is the operation of what happens of in liver. This is the sequence which happens in liver. Now we come to the muscle. In response to stress, fear or fright. Stress जब exercise जब muscle में exercise होती है, when the exercising muscle के अंदर stress होता है. So in response to stress, fear or fright, hormones like epinephrine and norepinephrine are secreted, which similarly they signal a cascade of reactions. They will initiate a cascade of reactions which will ultimately lead to activation of glycogen phosphorylase, which enhances glycogenolysis. और इसके अंदर जब glycogenolysis होगा, muscle के अंदर glycogen will break down to glucose 6-phosphate. This glucose 6-phosphate will enter the glycolytic pathway to form pyruvate along with generation of energy in form of ATP, and this ATP is required for muscle activity. Okay, so in muscle, in response to stress, fear or fright, hormones epinephrine और norepinephrine secrete होते हैं जो कि initiate करेंगे a sequence of reaction. इसकी वजह से क्या होगा? Ultimately glycogen phosphorylase activate होगा and which will cause glycogenolysis. In glycogenolysis, in muscle glycogenolysis, glycogen will break down to glucose 6-phosphate, which will enter the glycolytic pathway to form pyruvate and energy in form of ATP. This ATP is required for muscle activity. Now see here, I have not mentioned glucagon because muscle is insensitive to hormone glucagon, while in liver glucagon was there. All the three hormones were acting: epinephrine, norepinephrine, and glucagon. While in muscle, you can see only epinephrine and norepinephrine act because muscle is insensitive to hormone glucagon. Now we'll do the sequence of reactions which is initiated by the hormones. You can look into the figure. Epinephrine via receptor, beta receptor, it converts inactive adenylyl cyclase to active adenylyl cyclase. This active adenylyl cyclase is located in the inner membrane of cell. Once this active adenylyl cyclase is formed, this will convert ATP to cyclic AMP. This converts ATP to cyclic AMP, thus increasing the concentration of cyclic AMP. Once the cyclic AMP is formed, that is when the concentration of the cyclic AMP is high, the cyclic AMP will further convert inactive cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase to active cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase. मैकेनिज्म क्या होता है इसके इनएक्टिव को एक्टिव में कन्वर्ट करने का, that we'll see in the next figure. That is, you can see here this inactive cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase, it is made up of 4 subunits, 2 regulatory subunits, 2 catalytic subunits. Basically, it is a tetramer. The cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase is a tetramer consisting of 4 subunits, 2 regulatory subunits and 2 catalytic subunits. Once the cyclic EMP binds to this inactive cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase, ये इस regulatory subunit के साथ bind करेगा and it will release these catalytic subunits, as you can see here. See here, this is cyclic EMP. जो red dots में this cyclic EMP, it is bound to this regulatory subunit. See this, you can see here 2 regulatory subunits पे इस cyclic EMP ने bind कर लिया है and it has released both of these catalytic subunits have been released. So it binds to this regulatory subunits, this cyclic EMP, thus converting this cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase A inactive form to active form. So now this cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase has become active in nature. Once this cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase becomes active in nature, it further converts glycogen phosphorylase kinase inactive to glycogen phosphorylase kinase active A form में. See ये जो enzyme है phosphorylase kinase, this is inactive when it is in dephosphorylated form. इस पे अभी phosphate attach नहीं है तो ये inactive है. Once phosphate इस पे attach हो जाएगा, it becomes active. So now phosphorylase kinase, after addition of phosphate, this has become active in nature. ये phosphate donor कौन है? ATP. ATP ने अपना phosphate इसको दे दिया तो glycogen phosphorylase kinase B convert हो गया glycogen phosphorylase kinase A में, and ATP gets converted into ADP. So now this glycogen phosphorylase kinase, which has phosphate attached to it, it is the A form. A form is the active form, B form is the inactive form. इस reaction को catalyze करने वाला कौन है? Active form of cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase. अब जब phosphorylase kinase active हो गया, इसने further क्या किया? It further converts this glycogen phosphorylase inactive to glycogen phosphorylase kinase active. Glycogen phosphorylase inactive जो कि B form है, इसको भी इसने A form active में convert कर दिया. Similar way, ATP is the donor of phosphate. ATP ने अपना phosphate इसको दे दिया. Glycogen phosphorylase पे phosphate attach हो गया. ये inactive से active form में convert हो गया. ATP से ADP बन गया. इस conversion को glycogen phosphorylase B को A में convert करने वाला again enzyme is this active phosphorylase kinase. Once this become active, now this converts glycogen phosphorylase B inactive से glycogen phosphorylase A to its active form. Once this glycogen phosphorylase becomes active in nature, it causes degradation of this glycogen. Now we'll come to the previous figure. The same thing is there. You can look here. Epinephrine via beta receptor converts inactive adenyl cyclase to active adenyl cyclase. Active adenyl cyclase further converts ATP to cyclic EMP, thus increasing the concentration of this cyclic EMP. Cyclic EMP further causes activation of this cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase. This active cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase का में convert कर देता है from inactive to active form, the cyclic EMP. Once this cyclic EMP dependent protein kinase becomes active in nature, it further converts phosphorylase kinase B, the inactive form, to phosphorylase kinase A, the active form, by phosphorylating this phosphorylase kinase, catalyzing the phosphorylation. Phosphate group attach कौन करता है? ATP. इस पे और इस रिएक्शन को कैटलाइज कौन करता है? साइक्लिक एमपी डिपेंडेंट प्रोटीन काइनेज. जब फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज ए एक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट हो गया, इट फर्दर कन्वर्ट्स दिस फॉस्फोराइलेज इनएक्टिव टू फॉस्फोराइलेज एक्टिव enzyme. Now, as we know that this glycogen phosphorylase is the regulatory enzyme of glycogenolysis, so it will start degrading glycogen. You can look here, glycogen, it has broken down to glycogen plus glucose 1-phosphate. What does it mean? See, इसमें लिखा है n+1. n+1 means n can be any number, 50, 100, like this. So suppose n as we take, it is 50 plus 1. So 50 plus 1 molecules हैं इसमें glucose के. So phosphorylase क्या करेगा हर बार? There will be addition of phosphate and एक एक glucose molecule alpha 1 to 4 glycosidic linkages का glucose, एक एक glucose will convert into glucose 1-phosphate. यहाँ पे n+1, for example 50 molecules, 50 plus 1 molecules थे, 50 रह गए और जो नंबर एक glucose है वो कन्वर्ट हो गया ग्लूकोज 1-phosphate में. अगेन व्हाट विल हैपन? इधर 50 मॉलिक्यूल्स होंगे ग्लूकोज के, नेक्स्ट वापस क्या होगा, फिर ग्लूकोज 1 फॉस्फेट निकल जाएगा, रिमेनिंग विल बी 49 molecules of glucose. So one by one these glucose molecules which are present in form of alpha 1:4 linkages, they will be broken down in form of glucose 1 phosphate in presence of enzyme glycogen phosphorylase. Now see, one way, so there is phosphorylation is occurring. Another way you can see another enzyme, protein phosphatase. This is the enzyme which causes dephosphorylation of this phosphorylase kinase as well as phosphorylase. You can look here, protein phosphatase. फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज जो कि फॉस्फोराइलेटेड फॉर्म था, इसमें से वाटर मॉलिक्यूल ऐड करके फॉस्फेट बाहर निकल जाएगा एंड वापस फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज, क्योंकि फॉस्फेट निकल गया तो ये वापस कन्वर्ट हो गया अपने इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में, एंड दिस रिएक्शन दैट इज कन्वर्टिंग एक्टिव फॉर्म टू इनएक्टिव फॉर्म इज catalyzed by enzyme protein phosphatase. Similarly here also, phosphorylase kinase A, as I said, active form is phosphorylated form. So this protein phosphatase enzyme, what does it do? It adds water molecule, removes phosphate, and thus converting phosphorylase A to phosphorylase B, that is inactive form. तो ये एंजाइम क्या करता है, प्रोटीन फॉस्फेटेज दोनों प्लेसेस पे क्या करेगा, फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज को और फॉस्फोराइलेज को दोनों को अपने इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर देगा. इसने फॉस्फोराइलेज को अपने इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर दिया फॉस्फेट रिमूव करके. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे भी फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज में भी ये फॉस्फेट रिमूव कर देगा, thus converting it to in its inactive form. So अगर इसको स्टॉप नहीं किया गया, प्रोटीन फॉस्फेटेज को अगर स्टॉप नहीं किया गया, तो फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज विल अगेन गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू इट्स इनएक्टिव फॉर्म. सो इसको स्टॉप करने का काम भी करता है साइक्लिक एएमपी. हाउ? See, there is a protein which is called as inhibitor. Inhibitor जो है वो इसको inhibit करता है protein phosphatase को. But as such, this inhibitor 1 cannot inhibit protein phosphatase. First, it needs to be activated. Inhibitor 1 needs to be activated. This is the active form of inhibitor. Inhibitor 1 is inactive and inhibitor 1 phosphate is the active form. कैसे convert होगा active form में? The difference in these two is, you can see here, inhibitor 1 phosphate इस पे attached नहीं है. जैसे इस पे phosphate attach हुआ, again donor कौन होगा? ATP. जैसे inhibitor पे 1 phosphate attach होगा, this inhibitor 1 will convert into its active form. जब ये अपने active form में आ जाएगा, it can inhibit this protein phosphatase. So inhibitor 1 inhibits this protein phosphatase, but it can be activated only by cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase, and which is formed from cyclic AMP. So we can say that cyclic AMP phosphorylates this enzyme, phosphorylase kinase and phosphorylase, as well as maintains this phosphorylase kinase and phosphorylase in their phosphorylated forms. Phosphorylated forms में maintain भी cyclic, phosphorylate भी cyclic AMP करता है, और इनको phosphorylated form में maintain करने वाला कंपाउंड भी है साइक्लिक AMP. बिकॉज अगर साइक्लिक AMP नहीं होता तो प्रोटीन फॉस्फेटेज इसको, इन दोनों एंजाइम्स को, फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज और फॉस्फोराइलेज को वापस अपने इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर देता. सो इनको इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट होने से रोकता है साइक्लिक AMP वाया इनहिबिटर 1 फॉस्फेट, बिकॉज इनहिबिटर 1 फॉस्फेट कैन inhibit protein phosphatase. So this inhibitor 1 phosphate, it inhibits protein phosphatase by cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP, it stimulates cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. This further activates inhibitor 1 by converting into inhibitor 1 phosphate, and inhibitor 1 phosphate further inhibits protein phosphatase. So साइक्लिक AMP क्या करता है, एक तरफ तो उसको फॉस्फोराइलेट करता है, फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज और फॉस्फोराइलेज को बाय कन्वर्टिंग इनटू द एक्टिव फॉर्म्स. दूसरी तरफ इनके फॉस्फोराइलेटेड फॉर्म को मेंटेन करता है बाय इनहिबिटिंग दिस प्रोटीन फॉस्फेटेज वाया इनहिबिटर 1 phosphate. And the thing which I told you, that is regarding the hormones, that you can see here, epinephrine beta receptor के थ्रू दोनों ही organs में ये हेल्प करता है, स्टिमुलेट करता है रिएक्शंस को इन मसल एज वेल एज इन लिवर. लेकिन ग्लूकागॉन कहाँ पे, सिर्फ और सिर्फ लिवर में ही काम करेगा, बिकॉज मसल इज नॉट सेंसिटिव टू दिस हार्मोन ग्लूकागॉन. ओके, सो नाउ वी विल कंटिन्यू विद द रिएक्शंस जो मैंने बताया है अभी. वी विल डू दिस sequence of reactions only. We'll address them. Sequence of reactions for hormonal regulation. First was protein kinase activation. Epinephrine, norepinephrine in liver and in muscle. In liver and muscle via beta receptor, in addition to glucagon via glucagon receptor. दोनों के receptors different हैं. Epinephrine, norepinephrine beta receptor के through और glucagon separate glucagon receptor के through, they convert inactive adenyl cyclase to active adenyl cyclase, which is present in the inner surface of cell membranes. The first step. Now what happens? This active adenyl cyclase forms cyclic AMP from ATP. Cyclic AMP further क्या करता है? Cyclic AMP converts inactive cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase to active cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. So this was the first step, that is formation of protein kinase activation was the first step. Hormones beta receptor epinephrine and norepinephrine beta receptor के through, glucagon receptor के through एडनाइल साइक्लेज को इसके एक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करता है. एडनाइल साइक्लेज जो कि प्रेजेंट होता है इन इनर सरफेस ऑफ सेल मेम्ब्रेन्स. वंस एडनाइल साइक्लेज इज एक्टिवेटेड, इट कन्वर्ट्स ATP to cyclic AMP. Now this cyclic AMP further converts cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase to its active form में उसको convert करता है. PK क्या है? Cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. As I told you, it's a tetramer made up of 2 regulatory subunits and 2 catalytic subunits. जैसे ही cyclic AMP bind करेगा regulatory subunits को, इसके catalytic subunits जो है वो release हो जाएंगे and PK will convert into its active form. Number 2 is activation of phosphorylase kinase. जैसे ही एक्टिव हुआ ये PK एक्टिव हुआ, उसने क्या किया? फॉस्फोराइलेशन कॉज किया फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज का और उसको अपने एक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर दिया. दैट इज फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज A. फर्दर क्या होता है? दिस फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज जब ये एक्टिव हो गया, इसने फर्दर क्या किया? ग्लाइकोजन फॉस्फोराइलेज को एक्टिव कर दिया बाय कैटलाइजिंग द फॉस्फोराइलेशन एंड कन्वर्टिंग फॉस्फोराइलेज B टू इट्स एक्टिव फॉस्फोराइलेज A फॉर्म. जैसे ही ग्लाइकोजन फॉस्फोराइलेज एक्टिव हो गया, उसने कैटलाइज किया ब्रेकडाउन ऑफ glycogen, that is glycogenolysis takes place. Now what is signal amplification? Signal amplification होता है, see very few molecules or hormones are required to cause degradation of large molecules of glycogen. That is बहुत few molecules of hormones जो होते हैं वो बहुत सारे PK molecules को बनाता है. Very few hormone molecules, they bind to the receptors, thus forming or activating large number of PK molecules. Or each PK molecule has the capability further to activate many phosphorylase kinase molecules. और many phosphorylase kinase molecules फिर काफी सारा glycogen phosphorylase को produce करते हैं, which finally degrade glycogen. The gist is, what is signal amplification is, बहुत थोड़ा hormone, a few molecules of hormone are capable of degrading large glycogen molecules. बहुत थोड़े hormones, a few hormones क्या करेंगे? बहुत सारे PK molecules को activate करेंगे और each PK molecule फिर बहुत सारे phosphorylase kinase को activate कर सकता है. ये phosphorylase kinase फिर further बहुत सारे glycogen phosphorylase को प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है जो कि बहुत सारा ग्लाइकोजन को डिग्रेड कर देगा. दैट इज दिस इज कॉल्ड एज सिग्नल एम्प्लीफिकेशन. सिग्नल किसने दिया? हार्मोन ने दिया. हार्मोन्स बहुत कम हार्मोन्स हैं, बहुत कम हार्मोन्स का सिग्नल इज केपेबल टू डिग्रेड लार्ज मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ ग्लाइकोजन. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज सिग्नल एम्प्लीफिकेशन. नाउ दिस maintenance of phosphorylated state, as I told you, protein phosphatase is the enzyme जो कि फॉस्फोराइलेज A और फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज को अपने डीफॉस्फोरेट फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करके उसको इनएक्टिवेट करता है. तो इसको स्टॉप करने वाला होता है साइक्लिक AMP. कैसे स्टॉप करता है? बाय स्टिमुलेटिंग इनहिबिटर 1. इनहिबिटर 1 अपने एक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, दैट इज इनहिबिटर 1 फॉस्फेट कैटलाइज्ड बाय साइक्लिक AMP डिपेंडेंट प्रोटीन काइनेज. वंस इनहिबिटर 1 फॉस्फेट अपने एक्टिव फॉर्म में आ जाएगा, इट कैन इनहिबिट दिस प्रोटीन फॉस्फेटेज. जैसे ही प्रोटीन फॉस्फेटेज को इनहिबिट करेगा, वैसे ही फॉस्फोराइलेज A और फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज A अपने phosphorylated form में ही रहेंगे. They will not be able to dephosphorylate. This is called as phosphorylate state को maintain करना. तो phosphorylation को cause करना और phosphorylate state को maintain करना, ये दोनों ही काम करता है cyclic AMP via cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. Thus we can say cyclic AMP controls both the activation and inactivation of enzyme glycogen phosphorylase. Now see what is the effect of insulin. वापस हम उसी फिगर पे जाते हैं. The cycle you can see here. Insulin दो काम करता है यहाँ पे. See, insulin, first of all, you remember this, that insulin is the hormone which is secreted in response to high blood glucose concentration. और glucagon और epinephrine कब secrete हो रहे थे? In response to low blood glucose concentration. ये दोनों सीक्रेट हो रहे थे लो ब्लड ग्लूकोज कंसंट्रेशन में, दैट इज इन दोनों का काम क्या हुआ, एपिनेफ्रिन, नॉरएपिनेफ्रिन, ग्लूकागॉन, इनका काम हुआ ब्लड में ग्लूकोज की कंसंट्रेशन को बढ़ाना। इसका एंटागोनिस्टिकली काम करेगा इंसुलिन, बिकॉज इंसुलिन इज सिक्रेटेड इन रिस्पॉन्स टू हाई ब्लड ग्लूकोज कंसंट्रेशन। सो इसका काम होगा ग्लूकोज के लेवल को कम करना, ग्लूकोज के लेवल को कम करना। तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि ये पाथवे चल रही है ग्लाइकोजेनोलिसिस की। सो ग्लूकागॉन एंड एपिनेफ्रिन, नॉर एपिनेफ्रिन तो इस पाथवे को स्टिमुलेट करेंगे एज वी हैव सीन हियर, लेकिन इंसुलिन इसकी जस्ट ऑपोजिट काम करेगा, दैट इज इट विल इनहिबिट ग्लाइकोजेनोलिसिस पाथवे। अब ये ग्लाइकोजेनोलिसिस पाथवे को कैसे इनहिबिट करता है, बाय टू वेज, यू कैन सी हियर। इंसुलिन, it will stimulate this enzyme phosphodiesterase। ये phosphodiesterase enzyme क्या करता है, साइक्लिक एमपी को ब्रेक डाउन करेगा 5-AMP। जैसे ही साइक्लिक एमपी टूट गया 5-AMP पे, दस डिक्रीजिंग द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ साइक्लिक एमपी। साइक्लिक एमपी की अगर कंसंट्रेशन कम हो गई तो ये सारा रिएक्शंस नहीं चलेंगे, बिकॉज अगर इसकी कंसंट्रेशन कम होगी ये एक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट नहीं होगा, ये एक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट नहीं होगा तो फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज नहीं कन्वर्ट होगा, ये नहीं कन्वर्ट होगा तो फाइनली फॉस्फोराइलेज विल नॉट बी कन्वर्टेड टू in its active form. Thus, we can say that insulin inhibits this enzyme. So once by inhibiting this enzyme, cyclic AMP concentration will be decreased, and so glycogenolysis pathway will be stopped. ये इसका one way. Second way क्या हुआ, protein phosphatase. The function I've already told you. Protein phosphatase क्या काम करता है, glycogen phosphorylase kinase को और glycogen phosphorylase को, दोनों को क्या करेगा, डीफॉस्फोराइलेट कर देगा और उनको अपने इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करता है। इस प्रोटीन फॉस्फेटेस एंजाइम को भी स्टिमुलेट करता है हार्मोन इंसुलिन। अगर ये एंजाइम स्टिमुलेट हो गया तो क्या होगा, ग्लाइकोजन फॉस्फोराइलेज काइनेज एंड ग्लाइकोजन फॉस्फोराइलेज बोथ विल बी कन्वर्टेड टू देयर इनएक्टिव फॉर्म। जैसे अपने इनएक्टिव फॉर्म में आएंगे तो ग्लाइकोजेनोलिसिस विल स्टॉप। So we can see glucagon and epinephrine, they are stimulating the pathway of glycogenolysis, while insulin, it is inhibiting the pathway of glycogenolysis. So we come to the slide, function of insulin. Yeah, effect of insulin on glycogenolysis. Insulin is secreted in response to high blood glucose concentration. Protein, as I told you, it inhibits glycogenolysis by two ways. Number one is it inhibits protein phosphatase 1. Protein phosphatase 1 is activated by a signal cascade initiated by insulin. Protein phosphatase 1 is activated by insulin, which causes dephosphorylation of phosphorylase kinase and phosphorylase, thus converting them to their inactive form and glycogen, stopping the glycogenolysis. सेकेंडली इंसुलिन क्या करता है, एक्टिवेट करता है फॉस्फोडाइएस्ट्रेज एंजाइम को, thus degrading cyclic AMP to 5-AMP, thus decreasing the concentration of cyclic AMP. And once the concentration of cyclic AMP is decreased, so what will happen, chain of reactions नहीं चलेगी, that is cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase अपने active form में नहीं convert होगा, वो अगर active form में नहीं convert होगा तो further phosphorylase kinase will not be converted to its inactive form, and finally glycogen phosphorylase will not be converted to its active form. I'm sorry, I'm repeating again this. Once phosphodiesterase is activated, cyclic AMP concentration decrease हो जाएगी। जैसे cyclic AMP concentration decrease होगी, so cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase will not be converted to its active form. जब ये अपने active form में convert नहीं होगा, so further it will not cause the activation of glycogen phosphorylase kinase. अगर phosphorylase kinase active नहीं होगा तो further glycogen phosphorylase will not be activated. Hence, glycogenolysis will stop. So, insulin क्या कर रहा है, एपिनेफ्रिन और ग्लूकागॉन के एक्शन को एंटागोनाइज कर रहा है, that is, it is inhibiting glycogenolysis. While epinephrine, norepinephrine, glucagon क्या करते हैं, they stimulate glycogenolysis, and insulin, it inhibits glycogenolysis.